Are you thinking about starting a dropshipping business using Shopify as your platform? Well, in this video, we're going to cover exactly how much your startup costs are going to be to start a dropshipping business, as well as your recurring monthly costs. So make sure to stay tuned. Hi, I'm Elle McCann of Curious Themes Web Development Studio in Nashville, Tennessee, and we have been Shopify experts for over 5 years now. And I see so many misconceptions about opening an online store dropshipping products. So you'll see tons of videos on YouTube and elsewhere online that are promoting dropshipping as this ultimate kind of get-rich-quick scheme. But what they really don't show behind all of the posts of them sitting on Lamborghinis and in airplanes showing you of this is the life that you can have is the work that it actually involves to start a dropshipping business, and they don't really also cover the cost in getting started. So it is a lot more affordable to start a dropshipping business compared to especially a brick and mortar store. And that's one of the big things I want you to keep in mind throughout this video, is that whenever people start a brick and mortar store like a boutique or a restaurant, they typically have to take $50,000, $100,000 or more in loans to cover their buildings, their cost of goods, as well as hiring employees, all of these different things that factor into having to have a lot more money to start a local business. So you do get a unique advantage by starting an online business, and dropshipping's even nicer because you don't actually have to purchase the inventory. You're just having to purchase it once it's actually sold. So you're not sitting with thousands of dollars worth of goods in your garage that you haven't been able to sell yet. So there's definitely a huge benefit to dropshipping. So now we're going to cover the cost involved of getting started in your dropshipping business. So the first main cost is going to be with Shopify, your platform fees. So Shopify does offer a 14-day free trial. However, after that, it is an additional $29 a month at their basic Shopify plan. The next plan up is $79 a month, and that's really recommended for if you're wanting to offer gift cards. However, just starting out, you can definitely start with the free trial for 14 days and then the $29 a month fee going forward. You'll also really want to make sure that you have a domain so that you have a branded site set up and a domain linking to that. So domains can cost anywhere between $10 to $20. However, the average is around $12. And so that's a one-time startup cost that you'll definitely need to think through in terms of adding into your store. Now, I'm not going to go into any kind of design cost involved. You can get, a logo design, your website completely designed. However, if you're wanting to DIY it yourself, you can use an online service to get your branding figured out. And then you can also use a Shopify theme that's a free Shopify theme, so there's going to be no additional cost with that as well. I also go through a few different video tutorials that I will link in the info cards above that go through how to use free Shopify apps to really extend your store's functionality. So there's a lot of really cool apps that let you do upsells, pop-ups, promotions, things like that on your site. However, a lot of those do cost additional monthly. So getting started, you'll want to definitely check out using as many of the free Shopify themes as possible to keep your cost low. The next big cost that you're going to have is something that not everyone does, but I highly recommend, and that's actually ordering the products that you're going to be shipping. Now, I know the benefit of drop shipping is that you don't have to order the products. However, I always recommend getting a sample of each from each distributor or manufacturer so that you can see exactly what the quality looks like and how the product is going to come in the mail to you. So what does the packaging look like? How is it labeled? Is there any kind of insert you could put into it? But overall, is the quality of the product good? A lot of times I think people get swept up by the cost of the products being really cheap while still looking nice on the internet. However, once you get them in store, it may not look so nice. So you want to actually get those products so you can test it out and make sure it's a high quality before you go in trying to sell it on your store. Plus, it's also nice to have the products not only for checking the quality, but also to use for your own photos. So I talked about this in another video about why your Shopify store isn't making any money, and I'll also link that in the info cards above in the description below. But one of the key things that I talked about was having really nice product photography. So when you get your products as samples, you're then able to go in and take your own photos and stylize the photos and even put them on a model if that's applicable for your product, and make it a lot more presentable than just the boring kind of stock photos that you're going to get from the distributor. Now, I know it may not be possible for everyone to order their products, especially if they're higher end items that you're drop shipping. However, I do highly recommend it if it's possible for you just to go in and verify everything and be able to take those photos. And the last item that you have in terms of a dropshipping business is the one that's really not as set in stone for how much it's going to cost, and that's your marketing. So we obviously want to recommend that you have a really solid social media strategy, email marketing campaign, but your number one thing is making sure you can get as many eyeballs to your site as possible. So the average online conversion rate for e-commerce stores is 2%. So if you think in that term of if you have 100 visitors to your site and only 2% convert, that means you're only getting 2 orders out of the 100 people that came to your site. So to really increase the orders, you really need to increase the views that you have on your site. And when you're just getting started, that means most likely paid advertising. So I do recommend you really build up a brand through your other marketing streams. However, in the beginning, I see so many people that are scared to spend money on advertising. But if you really don't spend that money to get traffic to your site, you're really not going to make a lot of sales and you're not going to get discovered. So I recommend setting aside a couple $100s in the first few months to just test out different ads, test out different Instagram influencers or YouTube influencers to test out your product and do kind of an unboxing if that's relatable to your product. But just testing out your ads and making sure that your images and your copy is resonating, and also getting as much traffic to your site as possible so you can make those orders. So again, with the 2% conversion rate, if you wanted to make, let's say, 100 sales for the month, with that 2% converting, you'll need to actually send 5,000 people to your site in that month time to be able to convert them. Now again, the 2%, it's an industry standard, so it may not be exact for your store. You could have a higher or a lower conversion rate depending on your overall site design, how well your product pages are converting, or how desirable your product is. But I would keep that in mind in terms of the more sales you want to make, the more people you need to drive to your store. So do not forget about setting aside some money in your budget every month for advertising. So all of the beginning items that we have over here in terms of the cost to set up your dropshipping business comes out to only $114 initial setup fee. Now again, that doesn't add in any kind of additional design work that you're wanting to do, as well as any marketing. That's more of an ongoing aspect. However, $114 is really affordable for starting a business, especially going back to what I said in the beginning of if you're doing a brick and mortar or a restaurant, you're gonna have to take out these big loans to cover all of your expenses. So $114 is a really awesome gateway into starting your own online business. And then once you have that set up, you're just gonna have the reoccurring monthly charge of $29 a month for Shopify, as well as if you did add on any additional apps to do functionality, and those are paid apps, then you'll have those as well. And then the only other thing to think about is to make sure that you advertise and set aside a budget for advertising. Don't go blindly into just throwing money into advertising. Make sure that your ads are converting and you're getting money back on it. I always hate to hear the stories of people that have spent, a couple $100s on ads and not made any sales. So make sure that you're testing that out and that you are getting a return on your investment for advertising. Not just getting a ton of people to your site, but making sure that your products and offer resonate with them so that they actually do purchase from you. And we'll be putting out some videos soon about setting up ads and going through the step-by-step of that. So I would love to know what you think about this video, and have you started a dropshipping business? What have been your results on how much money you saw spending in the first few months, as well as advertising ongoing? We would love to hear from you, so make sure to comment below and tell us about your journey in dropshipping and starting your own online store. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe, because we post new videos every week all about Shopify and how to grow your online store.